2018, the Crusaders went back-to-back. I became best friends with Sam Warburton, and Lionel Boxes did this. But in amongst the headlines, it was a year in which some rugby was played by some people. And here it's time to celebrate those people who did the best and the most rugby in 2018 by picking the Squidge Rugby Team of the Year. And today it's time for the midfielders who made the most of the months that made up 2018. There's been a lot of talk in the news over the last 2 years about what England needs to take back control, to close borders, to tank its own economy. It's a debate that rages on and on, when really the only thing England needs is Farrell. You need to look no further than the game against Japan. England were behind at half-time until they hauled the Faz on and instantly saw a 30-point swing. This kick against Wales goes down as one of my individual players of the year, and he was the one who kept England in the hunt against Scotland. It hasn't been perhaps the best year for English rugby as a whole, but anything and everything that has gone well for rugby in England has been pretty much the fault of Owen Farrell. Be it in attack or defence, be it at 10 or 12, be it for England or Sarries, the weight of English rugby rests on Farrell's shoulders, which, means it's usually found in the face of the closest opposition player, but that's beside the point. He carries his side with a gleeful obligation. England are still trying to work out their midfield, whether they can afford to rotate their team, and how good they really are. But there's one thing we have learnt for certain. Farrell means Farrell. In this day and age of modern brick wall defences, it's very easy to forget that really every international defence is actually just a line of people stood near each other. No different to the one you had to wait for to get into the bar last night. Hugh Jones, however, is a hugely entertaining reminder of this fact, and even more so, of how these people are rarely stood quite close enough to each other, unlike that bar last night. Jones is an X-Factor expert at cutting through those small gaps in the defensive line, the kind of holes an over-organised attack don't look to exploit, because Hugh Jones knows how to cut an angle like no one else in modern Test rugby. Jones's line to a Scotland shirt may not have been straight, but since he arrived, he's reminded the world of the value of straightening straight through the hole in that wall without bricks. Throw in a few nifty offloads, the unlikely statistic that he had the highest tackle completion of any regular outside centre in the world rugby, and Hugh Jones becomes the go-to choice for a go-through 13. Elsewhere, centres were probably the hardest position to select, with Ryan Crotty, Jonathan Davis and Robbie Henshaw injured most of the year. The other standouts included Wales' own cut-price Conrad Smith, Hadley Parks, Samuel Adrada for continuing to keep me erect, Bundy O'Keefe for plugging the Henshaw hole and continuing to have the bounciest name in world rugby, and Crotty, Davis and Henshaw for the games they did play. No, thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you. Come back tomorrow. We'll be doing the halfbacks of the year after the back three yesterday, which you can find by clicking not at either of those because those are walls, but somewhere around me. Otherwise, thank you to everyone that has supported the channel on Patreon. I really appreciate that. As I say every time, but it's because it's very, very true. And thank you to Rugby Warfare for continuing to sponsor the channel. Come back tomorrow. As I say, there'll be more. There's so much more to do. Bye.